Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from SegaCDUniverse.com and GravesideEntertainment.com, and this is going to be my fourth episode of Vita, PlayStation Vita Thunderdome. It's where I take two Vita games that are similar, or maybe I just find them to be kind of similar, and I tell you a little bit about both and tell you which one I like more and why. Keep in mind, if I like one more than the other, it doesn't mean the other one's bad, it just means I like one a little more. So, today we're going to do Street Fighter Cross Tekken and Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I think it's Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 actually, is it? I think so. So I just got Street Fighter vs. Tekken today, Cross Tekken, whatever. And I've been playing a lot of it this morning. And there's some things I like and some things I really don't like. I really like in the Street Fighter Cross Tekken, obviously that it's two different things we haven't seen before. I mean, we've seen Marvel vs. Capcom a few times, so this is kind of interesting. I don't like the way they made the Tekken characters. I can't explain it. They feel like Capcom characters, but they also do control with the way the Tekken characters control. Like one button does one limb. I don't know, something just doesn't feel right to me. I don't know if that's just me and I'm just not used to the game. I also feel the game is a lot slower than Marvel vs. Capcom. I know most people are going to say, well, duh, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom's always been like super fast. So I like the speed of Marvel vs. Capcom as well. I'm not good at either. I mean, I think I'm just okay. I used to play a lot of fighting games as a kid, but not really so much anymore. I really like in Street Fighter Cross Tekken the very large cast of characters, all the downloadable content. A lot of it is free or comes with the game when you purchase it new, where with Marvel vs. Capcom, it seems like a lot of it is you have to pay for. So I didn't really buy anything with Marvel vs. Capcom. There's a gem system in Street Fighter Cross Tekken that can buff or enhance your abilities, make you hit harder, make you auto block, there's all types of stuff. And then there's ones you can buy that are supposedly very, very cheap. That you can, and I don't mean cheap money-wise, I mean cheap in terms of, like, if you use it, you'll win a good majority of the time without maybe having as much skill as the other person, but you're using these gems. So there is a cheapness aspect to it. I do, however, like all the customization. There is tons of like sharing through Nier, customizing little icons for your character, actually customizing the way the colors and stuff are on the character. There's like a lot of options, a lot of modes. So I think that definitely trumps Marvel vs. Capcom in that regard in terms of their customization, their options, and their modes. I'm not a huge fan of the gem system. I don't. It's okay, it's interesting, but I think especially if you're playing online, it should be disabled. I think it's kind of cheesy, for lack of a better term, to implement something that's buffing a character. I mean, if you're not good at a fighting game, or if you played in an arcade as a kid or even as an adult, you know, if you weren't as good, you lost and you got off the machine. Now they're implementing something that lets you become better because you're not as good. I don't know, I just don't get it. I like the ease of use in the Marvel vs. Capcom game more. I feel like the moves are easier to pull off, the game's faster and a little more fluid. I feel like with Street Fighter Cross Tekken I need to have more of a defensive gameplay. Like, it's slower, so I feel like I have to really like watch myself, where with Marvel vs. Capcom you're easier to button mash. So I would give, I like them both. They're not like great, I don't think they're amazing, but they're both good. They're both definitely good. Oh, the graphics and the sound on both are very nice on both. I don't see either being bad or anything. I think they're about comparable. I'm trying to think what else. The online modes are good. I haven't experienced any lag with anyone that I've played. The few games I have played online. And there's a couple different modes online, which is cool. Kind of like I think there's like an arcade mode where the loser goes off and the next person goes on and they keep fighting. It's also, the other cool thing about Street Fighter Cross Tekken is it's PS3 compatible, so you'll also find games with people who are on the PS3. So that's really cool. I like when they implement stuff like that to have more people to play with online. I'm going to say, by a nose, I like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 a little better. If I give Street Fighter Cross Tekken a 7, 7.5, I'd give Marvel vs. Capcom a 7.5 or an 8. It's just a touch better for me. I think it's just because of the ease of use. I'm not that great at fighting games, so I find it to be a little easier to play. I also find the characters a little more interesting. I've never been a huge Tekken fan, but I was kind of interested in the crossing of the two. I've always appreciated that. I always liked like with this, the Street Fighter Cross Tekken, the Marvel vs. Capcom. The Capcom vs. SNK might have been my favorite. I thought that was really cool. They did that other one, Fighting Evolution, where they took other games, like really weird Japanese games and stuff. Then they had that Wii one, Capcom vs. something with a T, Tekkotsun, I don't know what the name is, but that was interesting looking. So, yeah, I would say Marvel vs. Capcom 3 wins it out just a touch for me in terms of the gameplay. In terms of the customization, Tekken, Street Fighter Cross Tekken just totally wipes the floor with Marvel vs. Capcom. But since I have to pick one, I'll pick Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm going to say I'd go back to that one a little more, probably. But I like them both. I think they're both, good games. So, thank you guys for watching another episode of Vita Thunderdome. And it's Vampire Mike from SegaCDUniverse.com and GravesideEntertainment.com. Be good.